A divided galaxy. The city of Urix was supposed to be a beacon of hope. Instead, it was a powder keg. Commander Elias Rook walked through the streets, his new Republic uniform marking him as a target. The people of Arcanes, human settlers and alien refugees alike, watched him with suspicion. To many, the fall of the Empire had changed nothing. Humans were still in power. Aliens were still struggling to survive. A Nikto child clung to his mother's robes as Elias passed. A Cladonian merchant sneered at him. Even the human settlers looked uneasy. Elias sighed. If we don't fix this soon, Vurix will tear itself apart. He entered a dimly lit tavern in the alien quarter. Inside, silence fell. Rhodians, Twi'leks, Weequays, and other non-humans stared at him with cold, unreadable eyes. At the back of the room sat Jorez Varn, the Nikto resistance leader. Scarred and battle-worn, Jorez had fought the Empire his entire life. He despised humans, and he made no effort to hide it. "You're late," Jorez growled, tapping his fingers on the table. Elias sat across from him. "Your message sounded urgent." Jorez leaned forward. "I wanted to see if you'd come alone, or if you'd bring Republic troopers to pacify the angry aliens." His voice dripped with bitterness. Elias ignored the bait. "I came because we need to talk. This city is on the verge of collapse. Humans and aliens don't trust each other. The Republic wants peace, but it won't happen without leaders like you stepping up." Jorez laughed, sharp and humorless. "Peace? Let me tell you something, Rook. The Republic preaches about equality, but humans always end up in charge. You expect us to just trust that things will be different this time." Elias met his gaze. "I expect you to help change it." Before Jorez could respond, the tavern doors slammed open. A human merchant, bloodied and furious, stumbled inside. "They attacked my store," he shouted. "Filthy aliens." They looted everything. Seconds later, a group of Duros and Trandashans barged in, weapons drawn. "That human scum cheated us," one of them spat. Chaos erupted. Patrons knocked over tables. Blasters were drawn. The fragile peace of Urix was shattering before Elias' eyes. "Enough!" Elias roared, stepping between them. "No one is killing anyone today." Jorez stood beside him, arms crossed. "Tell that to your people, Commander." Elias glared at both sides. "This isn't just about humans and aliens. It's about power, greed, fear. If we don't stop fighting, Vurix will burn. And when it does, the Republic won't save us. The Empire won't either. It's up to us." For a moment, there was silence. Then, slowly, the weapons lowered. Jorez exhaled. "You talk like a man trying to prove something." Elias didn't deny it. Outside, the city rumbled with tension. This was only the beginning. Enemies or allies? The smell of smoke lingered over Vurix. The riot had ended, but the damage remained. Shattered storefronts, burned-out speeders, blood drying on the Duracrete. The uneasy silence in the air felt more dangerous than the chaos before. Commander Elias Rook stood outside the New Republic outpost, watching Republic security forces try to restore order. It wasn't working. The human merchants were calling for alien arrests. The aliens were calling for justice. No one trusted the other to do the right thing. Inside the outpost, Elias faced another battle. Sergeant Vale Odin, his second-in-command, stood with arms crossed. "You should have let us crack down harder," Vale muttered. "This diplomacy nonsense is making us look weak." Elias clenched his jaw. "Vale, we didn't overthrow the Empire just to start acting like them." Vale scoffed. "You really think these aliens care? They see us as the enemy no matter what. We're wasting time." Before Elias could respond, the doors opened, and a Mon Calamari officer strode in. Captain Hell Rower was an old war veteran, his uniform crisp, his expression unreadable. "Commander Rook," he greeted, his voice like rolling waves. "I hear Vurix is unstable." Elias exhaled. "That's putting it lightly." Hell Rower studied him. "The problem is deeper than this riot. The Empire spent decades making humans the dominant species in the galaxy. That doesn't just go away because the New Republic says so." Elias ran a hand through his hair. "I know, but how do we fix it? By proving we're different." Rower gestured toward a hollow projector. A recording flickered to life, showing grainy security footage of an armed human militia, the Sons of Coruscant, attacking an alien refugee convoy. Their leader, a former Imperial officer, stood in the center, barking orders. Vale tensed. Those bastards again. Elias' stomach twisted. The Sons of Coruscant weren't just criminals. They were Imperial loyalists, human supremacists who saw the New Republic as weak and aliens as invaders. The refugees were bound for Verix, Rower continued. If we don't stop this, the aliens will take matters into their own hands. And then you'll have a war. Elias nodded. Where's the convoy now? Still moving, Rower said. But they won't make it far. The Sons are hunting them. Elias turned to Vale. Get our forces ready. We're going after them. Vale hesitated. We're fighting other humans now. Elias' voice was firm. We're fighting terrorists. The weight of that truth settled over the room. Rower studied Elias again, this time with something resembling respect. Perhaps you understand more than I thought, Commander Rook. Elias strapped on his blaster. I understand one thing, Captain. If we let these supremacists win, the Republic dies before it even begins. With that, he marched out. The fight for Verix wasn't over. It was just beginning. The battle for Verix. The air was thick with tension as Commander Elias Rook led his squad through the ruins of Verix's outskirts. The refugee convoy was still on the move, but not for long. Ahead, smoke curled into the sky, a sign that the Sons of Coruscant had already begun their attack. Elias gripped his blaster tighter. The Sons weren't just raiders. They were extremists. They wouldn't stop until every alien in this sector was either dead or gone. Behind him, Sergeant Vale Odin kept pace, his expression unreadable. You sure about this, sir? He muttered. We're about to gun down fellow humans. Elias didn't slow. They're not our people, Vale. They're murderers. And I won't let them turn Verix into another Imperial stronghold. A voice crackled over Elias' comm, Captain Rower. The convoy's pinned down at the South Ridge. You don't have much time, Commander. Elias turned to the Nikto warrior at his side, Jorez Varn. Can your people flank them? Jorez snorted. You trust me to watch your back, human? Elias met his gaze. You fought the Empire your whole life. So did I. That makes us allies, whether we like it or not. For the first time, Jorez didn't argue. Instead, he motioned to his fighters. We'll take the ridge. Don't get yourself killed before I get my chance. Elias smirked. Wouldn't dream of it. The battle begins. Blaster fire erupted as they reached the ridge. The Sons of Coruscant had the high ground, pouring red-hot bolts into the trapped convoy below. Alien refugees cowered behind overturned speeders, their eyes filled with fear. Elias didn't hesitate. On me, he shouted, leading his squad forward. His blaster found its mark, dropping an enemy gunner. Vale and the Republic troops followed, returning fire with precision. The Sons fought hard, but they weren't trained soldiers. They were fanatics, relying on numbers and fear. And for the first time, they realized fear wouldn't win this battle. Jorez warriors struck from the flank, catching the enemy off guard. The Nikto led the charge, his vibroblade cutting through the chaos. The Twi'lek sharpshooters behind him fired with deadly accuracy, forcing the Sons into retreat. For a moment, victory seemed within reach. Then, a Sons enforcer, an ex-Imperial officer, emerged from cover, blaster aimed at a Nikto child cowering near the convoy. Elias saw him too late. The shot rang out. Without thinking, Elias threw himself in front of the child. The blaster bolt slammed into his shoulder, searing pain through his body. He hit the ground hard, vision swimming. Jorez was there in an instant. He shot the enforcer dead, then knelt beside Elias. Why would you do something so stupid? Elias coughed. Because it was the right thing to do. Jorez looked down at him for a long moment, then did something unexpected. He lifted Elias to his feet. The battle was over, but something far greater had just begun. A new understanding. Pain burned through Commander Elias Rook's shoulder as he sat in the New Republic outpost. A back-to-patch pressed against his wound. The battle for Verix was over, but its scars ran deeper than blaster wounds. Across from him, Jorez Varn leaned against the wall, arms crossed. The Nikto warrior had dragged Elias from the battlefield himself. Now, he studied the human with something Elias couldn't quite name. Curiosity, perhaps. "You should be dead," Joras muttered. "Throwing yourself in front of a blaster for a Nikto kid? Not many humans would do that." Elias exhaled. "Not many humans led a rebellion against their own people either." Joras grunted. "Fair point." The door slid open, and Lena Taylor, the Twi'lek diplomat, entered. "The Republic Council just finished deliberating," she said, her voice edged with exhaustion. "They've agreed to prosecute the sons of Coruscant leadership, and the human merchants funding them. Their assets are being seized." Elias gave a tired nod. "It's a start." Lena frowned. "Not enough of one. The Republic still operates under the old system. Even now, human governors make the rules while alien worlds beg for scraps." Joras snorted. "And you think words will fix that?" Lena's gaze was sharp. "I think actions will. I've secured Vurix a seat in the Sector Council. Joras, I want you to represent the alien communities." Joras barked a laugh. "You want me to sit in meetings and talk politics? I'd rather fight." Elias sat forward, ignoring the pain in his shoulder. "Then fight for something bigger than revenge. We stopped the Suns today, but they're just a symptom of the problem. Vurix can't survive if we're always waiting for the next riot, the next battle." Joras studied him. "And what about Uruk? What happens when the Republic betrays us like the last one did?" Elias didn't have an easy answer. The new Republic wasn't perfect. He saw the cracks in its foundation, the way old prejudices lingered beneath new banners. But he also knew something else. "The Republic isn't some faceless power," Elias said. "It's people. People like me. Like you. If we don't fight for it, then yeah, it'll fall apart. But if we do, maybe we can make it into something worth believing in." Joras sighed, rubbing a hand over his scarred face. "You really believe that?" Elias shrugged. "I believe we don't have a choice." For the first time, Joras extended his hand. After a brief hesitation, Elias shook it. Lena smiled faintly. "That's the first step." Outside, Vurix was still raw from battle, but the fires had stopped. The city wasn't healed. The Republic wasn't fixed. But something had changed. For the first time in a long time, Elias felt something close to hope.